In a world with many similarities to our own, there lies two planets that are both experiencing societal turmoil. One of them, the planet Remus, there lies a town named Hazel that is on the outskirts of one of the busiest cities on the planet. While society is strained with cultural change, in this town, there are beings that no one has seen and struggle not to be found as time goes on. The following is the story of some of the people who end up finding them through no fault of their own. This is Hazeltown Story. Yeah, she was trying to explain that something was going, like, that Drew was likely doing something unethical, but she did not understand or have a good way of explaining what was being done.
The vibes are wrong.
Yes.
Just the worst vibes. Well, I guess we got someone to grill.
Two people to grill.
Mm-hmm. True.
So that is what you found for the hard drives.
All right. And who does Elmas report this to, Queen or Bobby?
I would imagine Bobby.
Probably Bobby, since Queen fucked off immediately.
And it took time to find all this, so this is probably the next morning. So
Also, I want to take a quick second to appreciate that Lolo wrote down Joseph Moss, engineer. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you for correcting it. My good
Anyway.
buddy Joseph.
Anyway.
Also, I'm going to train. Hi.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
And now I have one in investigate.
Perfect. So, it is a new day. So what do you want to do with your newfound information?
I guess we're going to pay a visit to Clara Hahn.
yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay. Well, you also got basically that she is she just works there. How do you want to go about finding her?
I guess we're good. Well, we're doing what you want. We're going to Infrobo.
Okay. Okay. So you go there during working hours. It is a fairly it's not super busy, but it is. People are working at a time. I take it you're going in somewhere 8 or 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
As guys, there's people working there. There is a lobby that you could, or that as you enter the building, someone asks if you have, basically it's do you have, welcome to Anthrobo, is there something we can help you with?
Quick question. Who's here?
Bobby.
I was imagining it's the Bobby Elmas.
I figured it was worth clarifying instead of
Yes.
assuming.
Yeah.
Yes, so I take it that is. I mean, granted, he doesn't have to be. If you want to go with swap out any other character.
No, Bobby.
Yeah, Aravia.
Elmas is there, but very sleepy.
Bobby will say to the lady at the front desk, "Howdy, ma'am. My name's Bobby. I have an appointment with Dr. Clara Hahn."
Oh, I can page her that someone is there to see her.
That'll do nicely,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right. The person calls Clara's phone, and as you kind of wait there after a little while, let me get something real quick. I do have visual aid.
Oh.
Once one drive decides not to eat. I hate OneNote.
Your first, yeah.
Don't upgrade to Windows 11, people. If you
I didn't have a
avoid it.
choice.
Yeah,
My computer came with it.
yeah, that's.
Same.
I don't know how. I tried not to, but I got screwed into it anyway. Where the hell are
That's kind of why most people end up using 11.
you? Yep. Okay. So Clara, she looks like this. She is a relatively shorter pig lady with blonde hair. wearing goggles, and she approaches and basically asks us like, she just kind of goes and just sees that you're the only ones kind of staying in the lobby, and she just kind of walks up and is like, I don't. I apologize. This is going to sound a little weird, but I don't recall ever talking to a Bobby. So, how may I help you?
Sure you do, ma'am. You and I had a discussion about a certain Drew Lowe issue a few weeks back.
She kind of
I
looks.
said I could help you.
She kind of looks at the three of you and goes, yes. Please. I'm sure we can find a. We can find some place to chat real quiet.
That'll do nicely, ma'am.
And she kind of motions for you to follow her, and she looks for like a little side, like little tiny one-on-one room. Looks to see if it's being occupied, and just takes it real quick, and kind of brings you here or in there. It is a very tiny room that basically has a table that's like meant for like 4 people most.
Well,
Hey,
luckily
yeah.
there's only 4 of us.
Hey, Elmas, I know you're a bit tired, but you mind checking the room quick?
Sure. Illness brings out just sleep is like half asleep, but like doing the get the magic scatter out, just go through quickly. And explaining as while she's explaining this to Claire just to make sure someone had a scanner. We're just doing some due diligence. Don't mind this. Through yawning.
But she just kind of looks at it, like, huh, okay. Well, actually, I should say it like this, and she just kind of looks at it and is like, oh, okay. She just kind of like, you're halfway through explaining it. She's like, oh, okay, don't worry, I got it.
Good.
I've seen one of those things before. She just kind of pauses and is like, okay, so I take that. I'm like, who exactly are you guys anyway?
Investigators of sorts. We're investigating some mysterious happenings around the town, and your company and your team keep coming up as involved in it. Specifically, your mate, Drew Lowe, Jr.
Yes. Okay. You said incidents involving it. Is there anything particular that has happened that's been you think that he might be involved with?
Well, we don't know for certain, but there have been a couple things that happened around town. There's one restaurant in town, the Witch's Brew. Have you heard of it?
Yes, I have.
Yes, well, twice now someone's had their information doxed on the walls during the dining hours. And there was an incident yesterday that these two witnessed.
Yeah, something small and magic.
Something small and magic. I take it you didn't get a good. Did you get a look by chance of what caused this?
See that would require being able to see it with your eyes.
Yeah.
So it's invisible, huh? Okay.
Yep, gives off real big magic vibes though.
I would imagine that's probably what he's using for it. Has there been anything else you've found?
How familiar are you with the sylph trade?
She just kind of looks and kind of like, she just kind of looks at you and just kind of brings down her goggles a bit. It was like, well, I will tell you this. She just kind of looks and is like, that's a very specific question, and just kind of goes, does the name, and she just kind of thinks about it for a second. Does the name thing?
Does the name, but Lolo's looking it up right now.
Yeah, yes.
Sophie and Dewey were the names.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Does the name? As I'm trying to get it with my notes. Does the name? God, I was like, was it Sophie or? Let's see. Caulfield or Dewey ring a bell?
I met Sophie.
She just kind of says, like, okay, I'm not the only one. Okay. Yes. So you did definitely.
Yeah, she seemed pretty worried.
I would be too. Yeah, I don't know where he is. If that's what you're looking for, I can't really tell you. But I suppose that's what you're looking for. And if you're wondering where I know where he is, that unfortunately I can't tell you.
Hmm.
I can tell you what all I know. It's something that me and Drew were good friends, so he's kind of shown me some things that I am not super familiar with, but it does slightly concern me.
How much things that? Oh no, he's accidentally pissed off a gang.
Well, nothing that I know that he's done. He's not a very confrontational person, person, but he is someone who gets very passionate about some things, rather. He's been annoyed at things. You mentioned that his thing attacked someone yesterday?
It was self-defense.
Yeah, attack is a bit strong a word. It's more of
Trying to subdue.
yeah.
Who is he trying to subdue, or what was the thing trying to subdue? Do you know?
Me. Us.
Oh, not
Wait.
Sophie. The other.
No, the rat thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
It
was
freaked
starting
out
to-
when we found it.
Okay, and you said that was where was this at?
This is what? The Harlequin Badger? Or is it the Tomato House? I always forget.
It was Harlequin Badger,
It was
but
Harlequin
it didn't.
Badger.
It didn't attack you guys. It attacked a couple other people who were Orion agents.
Oh, it did? Okay, I thought it was us.
I know
No.
it saw you.
I just remember it freaking out and attacking someone.
Yes, it attacked the Orion things. So you mentioned that, and she's like, I have a feeling that I don't think he's the kind of person that would that would actually physically hurt someone with his hands.
Really
But
missing out there.
Well, but if he was using his robots, I wouldn't put it past him. How close did you get to it by chance?
Close enough to almost touch.
Did you by chance talk to it?
Thing that freaked out?
Yes.
No. It didn't talk? Didn't try to talk at least.
Okay.
It kind of just freaked out and bolted when I found it.
You said that it had a magical aura.
Yep.
How big of one by chance?
Here, do you have a computer? I can hand you a flash drive of the data from yesterday or whatever it was.
I mean, it wasn't super big. It was pretty well hidden.
She goes to, is like, oh, hold on one second. And she just grabs some 5 minutes and she grabs a portable computer.
It was like a small aura, not huge.
Small aura.
It was kind of, you ever seen one of them?
Yeah, I think I might have actually seen this thing because I've seen some of Drew's prototypes.
It was fast too.
Yeah, I'd imagine. And you've met Sophie.
Yeah, she's say she's lovely, but we didn't talk that much. She is very worried about him though.
I would be too, because she's probably worried about herself.
Have you ever talked to her?
Once. I kind of talked to the whole group.
I mean, she's worried about herself, sure, but no, she's definitely worried about Drew.
I'd imagine, but you said you just talked to Sophie?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were
Oh,
by
God.
Drew's house. He, his parents, and the other one, Dewey, were all missing.
So so I've only gotten this from secondhand knowledge. Someone who I live with is into this kind of thing. How familiar are how many sylphs have you come in contact with?
A fair amount.
I don't have enough fingers.
So I've only been told, but this one, I've heard this one that Sophie's an interesting case of the kind of thing. Because I've talked
She's surprisingly individualistic for a sylph.
which is the thing. She is not. She is only a part of. I don't really quite know the things, but the thing is, Sophie's only, at least as far as I know, like a portion of a sylph. Like she is only one facet of it. So
Yeah.
I'm just. If you talk,
I mean, they're colonies, they're groups.
Yes. Do you know where? Do you know where she is right now?
Bobby.
Bobby didn't have her. Aravia did at
Oh,
the end
right.
of that.
I forgot if we right. Aravia promised to hold on to her. Yeah, I left her at home.
I would be curious if it's just Sophie, because I know one of the things that Drew's been working on is trying to get. He's been trying to get a body for the
It was
colony.
definitely just her.
He might be he might have the others.
She was pretty talkative, actually.
So I think she might. They're just kind of is deep in thought at the moment. Drew kind of took most of his notes home with him, and then I'm assuming with wherever he is. But you talked. I take it that you visited his home.
Yeah, it was really busted up.
He must be trying to do something then. Fortunately, I can't really tell you what. Though, if he just left, if what he just had was Sophie, then, or he only just left Sophie there.
That's because she was hidden.
Yeah, it
Broken
looked like
tried to get her, but couldn't find her.
I wonder if he took the rest of the colony with him.
I mean, maybe. If so, I'd want to find him. Sylphs are, you could say, my specialty.
Yes. You said that. And did Sophie mention Dewey at all? Correct.
Yeah, she mentioned him. Yeah.
So, what I know that something that Drew was trying to work on was trying to give a form to, like, a physical presence to the rest of the colonies, or the rest of the colony, which I believe there was about. I've only met a couple of them were active at, like, but I know that I believe you mentioned that there was 5.
Huh.
That's not including Sophie. And I wonder if he is trying to use them because they, from what I was able to tell, they harness a great magical energy in themselves.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So what I'm wondering, and she's kind of looking over that footage, and it's like, so this is a tiny thing that can go invisible, that has a magical trace, but yet can go invisible and go at that speed and
Also,
not give off a magical aura.
Yeah, also it ran along the train tracks too. It was kind of impressive.
Towards the university.
Towards the university.
So what I think that thing actually has a lot more power than it's letting on. And that a lot of that came from it trying to, what you probably gotten as an aura was just the aftershock of it using so much magic to hide itself. That in itself had to only give off a small aura.
I mean, they did a real good job of hiding it. Certainly couldn't see it with, your eyes.
Circling back for a second, you said that you thought Drew was trying to use the sylphs as a power source, correct?
Yes.
Is that in any way related to the HR complaint you put against him?
Yes. I talked to Dr. Fowler about it, but if I don't believe that he's familiar with that kind of thing, so if I just started rambling about little creatures and crystals, I feel like I don't think that'd be taken seriously. But I did kind of still concerned nonetheless.
And what about the other two on your team? We know Dr. Green's been looking for Drew as well.
He's been helping look for him because he's concerned as well. Joe's been also concerned. He's been helping out, but I don't know. He's a relatively new member of our team. I mean, we're good. Like we're friendly with each other, though he's relatively new, so I don't know if he'd probably only have as much information as me or Dr. Green would.
This is going to be a really weird question. Got any humans who work on your team?
Joseph.
Joseph, cool.
What do you know about Orion?
I know that they're a bad bunch. I have never really been in contact with them, and I know they cause our security a bunch of problems.
Do you know anything about them infiltrating your company?
I know that they have done it. I have not, as far as I know, worked with anyone who was found to be an Orion agent.
You live a better life for it.
Do you have any ideas of somewhere where Drew might go, specifically out at the University Island?
He might be using that as like he might know someone out there who is currently a student that some of us take up mentorship programs, and I believe Drew was part of that. I don't unfortunately know anyone off the top of my head who he was in contact with, but it's likely he could potentially have someone who he's in contact with at the university, but it's almost like, especially with the Institute being out there, it's like finding a needle in the haystack with even just weird robot stuff. If you're going to find anything, you just find a random robot thing laying out there. It's like, oh, it's just someone's project.
Yes, I can imagine. Well, tell me, where can we find Joseph Moss at the moment?
He's here. He's just working back at our office.
Can you get him for us?
Sure.
Thank you.
Clara leaves and goes and grabs Joseph. A little while ago, or a couple minutes later, you see man in bearded, just like nothing out of the ordinary, like just the kind of person you'd imagine working in robotics.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. He looks a little nervous just seeing the three of you just kind of sit there.
Tell me, friend, what does the name Orion mean to you?
Nothing really that I have really I know they're kind of like one of those bad groups that have been I know they kind of focus on making robots that they use for crime and stuff, but I've never come across anyone who's done stuff for them.
Is he lying?
He is not.
All right. We're looking into the disappearance of one of your comrades, Rulo.
Yes. Real unfortunately has gone missing.
Do you know anything about that?
Nothing in particular. I wasn't super close. I know Dr. Han here knows a lot more about him than I do.
Yeah, but we're not talking to her at the moment.
Yeah, I am. Because let's see, I know he lived out with I think he's mentioned his dad a few times, and I believe they live out in Oakbrook.
Not at the moment, they don't, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I would imagine that if he's gone missing, then he's probably not just at his house.
Did you ever happen to mention any other friends to you? Anyone living out on the, say, the University Island?
Not that I know of. I know that he did some mentoring stuff, but that was more on the side.
Anyone specific that he was mentoring?
No, I don't. He never really mentioned anyone by name. He mentioned that there were some smart students out there, but nothing no names in particular.
All right, well, that's all from me. Elmas, Ravi, you have any more questions for him?
You know anyone on the security team?
Um, I know that don't really talk to them a whole lot, but I have met one of the people on the team, or like someone who has worked security for us. Yes.
Would just have they had an increase of incidents lately?
Um, well, we did have a big break-in like yesterday, or like the day before.
Meaning more previously in the past.
Um, Nothing usually that brazen. Usually, if things get stolen, it's a lot more of a kind of, I guess, a lot more nuanced, I guess. Like it's usually someone accidentally taking some, or like in air quotes, accidentally taking something. It's not usually breaking and entering. It's usually not Orion style.
Okay.
What went missing?
Um, well, the last break-in, some of our hard drives got stolen. We don't know who really did it, but like we've had robotics parts stolen in the past, just things not lining up in inventory. Nothing really specific. It's actually like a little bit of everything. But usually the stuff that you'd use to build like either small little spy drone stuff or like actual like humanoid robots.
Yeah, no, that break-in sounds like a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, especially it took Dr. Green was like they took their hard drive. Like I don't like just took it out of the computer. Like it's a real pain in the ass to kind of like there was like project data on it and like he kept on like it was like an entire like we spend like the entire day trying to like reformat stuff and then he had like some people like he had some people like at his house last night at like midnight.
Jeez.
Barbarians, I tell you. Oh, I think that's everything. Thank you both for your time.
If we can help, we are happy to just like if we can help in any way, just please let us know.
Yeah, Ravi just quickly writes down Elmis's home phone number and hands it to God, I forgot the lady's name. Shit.
Clara.
Clara. Yeah, call here if you ever want to have a one-on-one chat
Okay.
with a mutual
Yeah.
friend.
Yes. I'll make a note of that.
Poor Elmis's girlfriend gonna have to deal with more calls from strange women.
Oh no, Elvis is like immediately like as soon as we get out of the office is like explaining these things to her.
Avi just shakes his head as they get outside and says, "Well, another bust. These people didn't
Oh,
know anything."
could I spin some stress for a flashback?
Yes.
So I don't know how much this would cost, but it was just more of while they were doing this, Elvis plants a bug into their system. Just
Oh, like the little computer that they were using?
yes, just
Uh,
just like
how much
just
is a
like
no-
it would depend on how plausible it would be to do this. Is the
I mean, it's fairly plausible. Like, it's not. Well, you weren't using it, right? It was mostly. I would imagine that like
well, I
while
gave
they're
a flash
talking.
drive to. I gave a flash
Oh,
drive to.
no, okay, yeah, no, that's super plausible then. Let's see. You may require depends upon what. Um, I'm going to say it's. Did I give a range?
It would appear no.
Is the word the word flashback is not in the mechanics guide.
Wait, we didn't. Could have sworn we had those in there.
I know we have
Yep.
it on the little. It's on the sheet. I guess that it's completely up to me. I'd say 1.
All right, yeah, because now now Elvis just has backdoor access into Anthorobo's systems.
Well, because I was gonna say it was like a little side thing. Like I don't even know if it would be network attached. Like it was literally just something to read like data. You're basically put a bug on the computer that they put in the cabinet,
in case someone needs a spare computer because they left it at home.
Look, it's got some level of networking that I can work with. It's a backdoor to at least mean I can go work backwards from there for later, is more what I'm trying to say.
Because here's the thing, is also you're trying to do this to effectively a tech company, and the odds of them finding it. Because I'm wondering if that's technically something I need to have you roll for.
I would say yes.
I'm cool with the role, yeah. The flashback is more of just to give the reasoning.
Okay, I would say, yeah, if you want to say back that you did that, then that's perfectly fine. Rolling an action for it, I take it. So, what action would you do to roll it?
This is probably interface.
Okay. So I will say that the likelihood of them having a secure network is incredibly high, so it's going to be limited.
All right.
I would say also you're doing this right in front of at least a person who is tech savvy, if not two people, depending upon when Joseph came in. It's going to be risky.
All right. Limited. I'm going to push for 4 dice.
2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, so you do succeed. You get the bug in there. You don't know when it's going to interface, but it is there. That at least at some times, it's not going to be, the computer's probably going to be off during non-office hours, but you will have access to it.
That's good enough. So yeah, also just a heads up of like, all right, by the way, once we're safely out of sight in earshot, I'll give Bobby the heads up of like, okay, let me know when you need it, but I got us a backdoor access to some of their debt work.
Well, I guess explore that at your discretion. Not sure what we find, given that we already found a good chunk of their stuff on those hard drives, but I guess we'll see.
Might be useful for security data, in case we might need to scrub something.
Can't believe they took the whole fucking hard drives.
Weren't you there when I had to pick those up overnight?
I was sleeping. I don't know about you, but I actually sleep.
Asleep until they showed up at the house.
Probably for the best. I don't think you would have gotten along with that individual, Ravia.
I'll take your word for it.
Of course, we still have the big problem of having no idea where to go next. A lot of people have said a lot of things, but they haven't told us anything that'll point us in a direction.
I mean, I guess we gotta go back to the university.
That's a given.
And look into whoever Drew Lowe was mentoring.
Yes.
But that'll take time.
Yes.
Previous episodes of Hazeltown Story can be found at BeKindRewind.hazel.town or radio.hazel.town. If you would like to know more about the universe and have an interest in video games, you can watch LoloDePuzlo's Journal, our sister show, that can be found at theater.hazel.town or BeKindRewind.hazel.town. If you would like to keep up to date with Lolo, you can follow them at co-host or BlueSky at LoloDePuzlo. There is also a Discord server in which you can potentially catch episodes being recorded live at club.hazel.town. Thank you for listening to Hazeltown Story. I welcome you to come back for more.